Now, see, lifestyle is changing. Times have changed, and that's what we will be discussing in the next panel discussion that's coming up, which is about enabling change
and impacting lifestyle.
We started with this notion of change and impact, and today's CEO operates in a very opportunity-rich and yet a very rapidly changing, challenging environment. What are the new CEO competencies? What are the attributes? And how does he actually achieve balance? How do you stay an individual? What's the role that family, hobbies, and your interests play in this equation? So we will explore these topics. I'm actually going to start with Vidyut. Share with us some of your experience.
All I can say is there's one fundamental change occurring for leaders like myself, which is around dealing with the younger generation. And therefore, challenge one for CEOs like myself is to try and see how do you sort of capture the energy and the passion of these youngsters and make meaning out of it. So how do you create that environment of stretch without adding stress to their lives? You add too much of stress, people will leave. I mean, these are some of the traits, and we can go on, but sort of throwing it back to you.
Why don't we turn to Vani? What are you seeing?
I think we stereotype this word balance a lot. I think balance is an inner journey at different moments in life. I don't think it is possible to find balance on a prescribed basis. Sometimes there's more of this, sometimes there is more of that. And if you're not able to make those compromises or sacrifices, then maybe you end up with a mediocrity of life versus being able to achieve all the things that you have to achieve. If you want to be at the pinnacle, then I think that you can't have too many interests. That doesn't mean you are only single faceted, but I think you can focus on only so many things at any given time to be very good at it.
Sanjay, you represent the complete man, so tell us more.
Specific to the balance part or the CEO, what are the capabilities that you need today? I kind of tend to agree that you need to be a lot more adaptable in your leadership style. It cannot be one style alone, like directive style. But I also disagree that you have to get really stuck onto one style. Second thing, I think today's 3 or 4 other competencies which are really coming to the fore for leadership. One of them is really failing and bouncing back. The second is the sensitivity to everybody, the sensitivity to people who collaborate in your success. You start finding life in work and you start finding pretty much a work in life. So I think it seamlessly transfers.
Vidyut, you worked in many different cultures. Where have you found your passion?
I personally sort of took on to doing things. I learned to play the harmonica. I'm learning to play the saxophone. It brought about some sort of richness to life. When you look back in time, I mean, you feel really happy having done what you have, other than driving for growth and profitability and employee engagement. I mean, these things have a role to play, and then there is the other part which you need to balance out.
It's like when I think about this work-life balance, I get this strange image of, 2 compartments called work and life, and there is always a conflicting kind of interest which is like stopping one from another. But that's not, it's actually the stress of that image is far more than actual work-life balance that I've had. The core question should not be work-life balance. The core question should be what makes you a happier person, what makes your life a little more enriching, a purposeful life. And it's been a seamless transition between work to family to passions, and I have a passion of painting, and I remember the first decade, cricket has been another very big passion for me. So as long as you can make time for your priorities.
But if you were not doing what you're doing, if you weren't a CEO, what would you be? Vani?
This is who I am. Don't want to waste the energy on something else, right? I have not indulged in that question, so why indulge here with you and be false about it?
So with many thanks to our esteemed panel, it's been a fun conversation. I think we've discussed many things. The CEO, the balance, passion, purpose, engagement, and some fun things. On that note, thank you all very much.